Hello everyone and welcome to my coloring corner. Today is Tips and Tricks Tuesday and we're going to be working on different aspects of this page. We're going to be working on some different um, leaf type patterns as well as some windows and window dressings, and I was thinking about possibly doing a little bit of the wall work as well. We've got some plaster here, we've got some bricks here. So we've got a couple of different things that we can look at and um, figure out how to deal with. All right, so let's get started. I'm going to switch you on over to the close-up camera. I also have a camera in camera going on there so you can see what's going on over here. Ooh, I was going to show you. Let's switch this over. I did finish the small pictures with the Secura colored pencils, and they did pretty good. I was quite impressed with how well they layered and how many layers I could get on this sheet. So I was quite happy with that. I'll switch you over to the close-up so you can see a little bit better. So I was able to get plenty of layers on the butterfly to get the color saturation I wanted. I was able to get at least 5 layers on the flowers and a couple of layers on each of the bugs. Let's see, I'll move it up so you can see the bugs. There we go. And I did use at least one color from each color family so that I could get a good look at how they would color on here. I think the only one I didn't add was gray, but I do have black in there. So, and the black does really quite well. So, all right, so let's get back to what we were going to do. So we're going to start up here on these leaves. So I'm going to move you on up to there. Oh, going the wrong way. There we go. So we're going to start up here on these leaves, and I'm going to start off with a base color, and this one here is number 128. And I'm just going to put this lighter green all over the leaf. Now there's several different ways that you can build color on a page. You can build color by putting down a base layer, which we're doing here. You can also build color by adding, put my color chart there so I know which ones I'm using, by adding different layers of color and joining them together. Instead of putting them on top of each other, you butt them up to each other. Now these are greens, so they may not show very well on the close-up camera. I don't know why my close-up camera has an objection to green. It just really doesn't like it. There we go. We've used two different greens now. This one here is number 28 if you have this set and are following along. Now we're going to use number 27, and we're just going to extend from that 28 and feather it out into the rest of the leaf. We're not covering up all of the light color, just some of it. And we'll come back through with a little bit of a brighter yellow green, lime kind of green. And this is number 32. And we're just going to put that in the center areas where we want that light to show. So that is a layering technique. Now what we'll do on this area here, we'll do the blending technique where we blend one color into another. Alright, so I need number 28 again, I think would be the best one. maybe number 29. No, that's too greeny blue. I'm going to sharpen this so I get a good sharp point because I've used this pencil a little bit. Alright, so we've got number 28, and this is our nice dark green color. And what we do when we're doing the blend technique, where we're just joining the colors together, is we're just going out a little bit from where we want to be and feathering it out, just barely putting the pencil on the page. And of course, putting a little bit more pressure on areas we want to be the darker color at this point. Go through and do all your dark areas. And then come back through with a lighter pencil. This one is number 27. And you just go over the area that you feathered out. Don't go over the entire dark area, just the little bits that you feathered out so that you can blend them together. Just like that. It's a very simple technique. It definitely gives you the ability to maintain your light colors from your dark. This little area here where I see that there's going to be light touching it, I'm going to add just a little bit of that yellow green color. It's a very, like I said, very simple technique. If you find that your dark areas aren't as dark as you'd like them to be, or you want to add a different color just to darken that up a little bit, you can definitely go back in and add more color right over top. So I didn't think these areas were dark enough, so I'm just taking a little bit of a darker color and just going in and darkening that up a little bit. Doesn't take a lot, especially on these small pictures. Now we're going to do the same thing with this leaf. We're going to take the darkest of the colors and we're just going to add that dark color into those darker areas. Those areas that we want to be the darkest. Then we're going to just feather it out just a little bit, very lightly putting the pencil to the paper so that when we add the other color, it will blend into that dark color without a harsh line. So now I'm going in with the lighter color and I'm just blending right into that color. I'm not getting into the deepest part of the color, just the light area that I blended out. And it will mix that really light layer into the heavier layer of the light color, like that. Very simple, very easy technique, both of them, and both work very nicely. I do find that the colors, when you layer, are a lot, they have a lot more depth. When you do a butt to butt, is what I call it, when you put those two colors together, you don't put as many layers down, I find, and it, even though your lighter colors and everything else still stay just as vibrant, I find that sometimes with certain things, you don't get as much depth to what you're coloring and what you're trying to achieve. Now, of course, everything that I say on my channel is just my opinion and not a rule of thumb, not a factor. This is the way I do things and only the way I do things. So I'm just adding the heavier dark area. Now this one here is going to be a lot heavier in the dark because of the different things that are overlapping this leaf. So take into consideration your shadows the areas that are being overlapped and go from there. You just extend it out a little bit. Like I said, go really dark where you want it to be really dark. Extend it out to your lighter areas. Just a little bit, just enough that you're going to get that blended color in. So once again, we're going to do this one the same. It's a larger area with more shadows, so it's going to be a different experience. The more dark color that you add, when you go over it with your lighter color, you're going to find that the lighter color does get a little bit darker. But those light areas that I have left are going to pop a lot more than if I was to go over the entire thing with just a dark pencil and then go over it with a light. When you're working in a layer situation, try to make sure that you start with your light and go up to your dark. There are some instances where I will go dark and then go light. Those instances I want to dull down that dark color. Like this one here, I wanted to dull down that dark color in the center a little bit, but I still wanted to see that dark color. So that's the third technique, is you put down your dark color, you go over it with your light color, and then if you find areas that are just showing a little bit too light because there's a shadow there, it should be darker, you just go back in with your darker color. Make sure that you get all those areas darkened up a little bit. When you go over the light with the dark, it does lighten up the dark a little bit, but when you go over the dark with the light, it lightens it up a lot. So just a little bit of a hint there. To get a brighter color, you can definitely go over it with a brighter color. Now I'm not going to touch those colors again. I'm just going to go into that white area that I want it to be really light, and I'm just going to color those in like that. And it gives you a really good transition between the dark and the light. Now if you decided, okay, I want that leaf to have a little bit more pizzazz, I want it to have, maybe a little bit of red, or maybe a little bit of purple, or maybe a little bit of orange. Let's say we want to put a little bit of red in there. Go into the area that you want to put a bit of red in and put a bit of red in. Now if you want it to be a standout red color, put it down first because it's going to be your dark color. Don't touch it with the other color, and just leave it alone. If you want it to transition from red to green, just do the same thing you would do with your dark green color. Blend it out a little bit and then transition it into your lighter green. Like that. I'm just going to do down here. Now this paper is taking these pencils quite nicely. Like I said yesterday, I have not had a chance to color with the Sakura pencils, so being able to do this both yesterday and today has given me a very good impression of the pencils and what they can do. I have found that there are a few that have a little bit of a scratch to them, and it's not because they're just a hard pencil. They are a hard pencil, but every once in a while you get a little piece of pigment that is not fully dissolved, And it's mainly in the greens, the darker colors. I just color over here for a second until it's all gone. Alright, so we've added a bit of red to that. Now I want to brighten up that edge a little tiny bit more into the red. So I'm going to use a bit of a yellow. And as you probably have noticed, there's quite a few layers on this leaf now, and it's still accepting color, which is great. Alright, so there's that leaf. Now we have a plaster wall behind these leaves and flowers and all that fun stuff. Now there's a couple of different ways that you can do this. You can of course color the plaster in plaster colors, which are creams and colors such as that, which is what I'm going to do. Or you can do it in grays and browns, which is another type of plaster. Or you can do it with multiple colors. Now I'm going to take number 45, which is a, no, actually I'm going to take 35. It's a cool gray. And I'm going to go into the areas that are shadowed, deeply shadowed. The artist has put those areas in as well, but I just want a little bit of a deeper shadow than what is there. So you just go in with your gray, press a little bit harder in those really dark areas and a little bit lighter in the areas that you don't want to be as dark. Now this gray color is going to get picked up. I'm not sure. I think so. Can't tell what's I want to make sure that I don't color gray over a plant area. But the deeper gray color is going to get picked up into your lighter color. So be aware of that. This is where the trim of the house is, so there is nothing there. Now, I'm not sure if these little lights are on. I'm not seeing any bright lack of shading in any of those areas, so I'm not sure. I think I'm going to turn them on though. I think I'm going to light them up. And because they're little hearts, I'm going to light them up red. So when you use a colored light like that, you're not going to get as much of a shine from them, but you still are going to get some sort of light shine. So when you do this, you just got to remember to leave certain areas uncovered so that when the light comes off of those little light bulbs, it's going to be shining on things. So I'm just going through and making sure that all these little areas are covered. Down here where that flower is going to block that light. Now, like I said, it doesn't matter if it's daytime or nighttime in this picture. The red light is not going to travel very far, so it doesn't it won't make a lot of a difference on what's the word I'm looking for, on shadow and that sort of thing. Now these shadows close to the flower and close to the light are going to be a little bit less than the shadows down here. And that's just because Even though the light is on, it's going to be a red, so it's not going to cast a huge amount of light. Over here there is no light at all. Well, I'm quite sure there will be, but from the outside, but not a interior light source like a light bulb or anything like that. So I'm just putting in the gray there. Now these are really tightly put together down here. There isn't a lot of wall space here, so there isn't going to be a lot of the creamy color. There's going to be a lot more of the gray in these areas. Now hopefully you can all hear me all right. I've had some complaints that my mic is not loud enough, and once I can afford it, I will be getting a new mic once I do some research and figure out the best one. I bought what was said to be the best headset available for doing this kind of stuff, but if we're having issues with the sound, maybe I need to look at other options. I don't have a lot of room on my desk, so a headset is definitely the best alternative to having an open mic. So that's why I have a microphone headset and not just an open mic. Once I get into my own studio space, if the children ever move out, then I'll look into getting an actual mic. But it's just really not feasible at this point. I want to also say thank you very much to each and every one of you that sent me messages yesterday of support. I appreciate it. I appreciate all my subscribers. I really do. And it is you guys that keeps me remembering who I am and remembering that it doesn't matter. You know, other people's opinions don't matter. I will just be me, and if people don't like me, they can, of course, not subscribe or not watch my channel. That's pretty much the only thing I can say about it. Is, you know, if you don't like what's on my channel, then just don't watch it. I am trying to speak a little bit louder. I do have a tendency to lower my voice as I'm coloring because I am concentrating and leaning in, and I tend to lower my voice at that point, and I'm trying really hard not to. So hopefully it's helping. I also turned up the volume on the microphone just to make sure that you guys were getting 100% of the volume. So, and let me know if it worked. Hopefully I'm not too loud. Hopefully I'm not too quiet. Other than that, the only other thing I can suggest is turn up your volume. All right, so we've got the cream down, and we've got it going over the gray. Now I want to take a nice light brown color, but I don't want it to be a red brown. So I'm going to take this one here, which is number 15. And I'm just going to go into that gray area a little bit, just to brighten up that cream color a little bit. And of course you guys can't see anything I'm doing down there. No, I can't. adjust the camera when I go down lower. So I'm just going to stick close to up here. Now I'm getting close to this one here, but it will reflect as a red tone on that golden yellow color. Keep on forgetting the lights are on. Maybe I should have done the lights first. All right. This is such a sweet picture. These are done by Rita Berman, and this is a celebration release, free of charge, so that to promote her new book that's coming out in September. I cannot remember the website that I got this off of. It's horrible, I know. But if you just search Rita Berman freebies, you can definitely find it. I'm just trying to remember the website that I got it off of. I'll have to go through my history, and if I can find it, I will put it in the description below the video. It may take me a little while after the video has been produced to do that, so make sure that you check back. And if you know of the place to get the picture, just put it in the comments and I will post it. All right. There we go. I think that's all. No, I need to do up here. I need to move it down for you so you can see what I'm doing. I should just leave it on full screen instead of zooming in, but I know you guys like to see it up close as I'm doing it. There we go, I think. I think that's it. Okay, so there is our cream colors. Now we can also intensify that in some of the darker areas, like up here at the peak, just by going over it again with the cream. Same with over here. You know, just anywhere that you feel that that cream color is not coming out properly, just go over it, blend it in. You know, one coat sometimes isn't enough. It's just like when you're painting a wall. You put down one coat and go, yeah, it needs more. Now I am going all the way around the lanterns because I want that wall color to show through. Even if we do a red wall, it still needs to show some of the, or red light, it still needs to show through the words are hard. It still needs to show through the yellow needs to show through the light. There we go. Words are hard. So I'm just taking a really dark red brown color and I'm just going to fill this in very, very lightly. And then I'm going to take a really bright red and do the filament with it. And then we'll work our way out from the lantern. Alright, now we're going to take our red, which is number 221. And before we do that one, we're going to do number 19. And we're just going to go right around the filament, adding that glow. Just like that. Sorry if I get quiet when I concentrate. Concentration! Yeah, I'm just trying not to make a mess at this point. Alright, now we're going to take the number, which one is this? 221. And we're going to go around the edges of the lamp. And we're just going to fill it in just very lightly. And then we're going to take that red and we're just going to go around different areas. Now I'll come back through with the red color on top of these areas that may get covered up by coloring the other areas. But I will probably just do a blend into on this one. So sorry, somebody is text messaging me. So if you hear a buzz, it's just my phone. Now I am just extending that out just a little bit so that when I do need to feather that color in, it has that availability. And I'm not going really wide with it. I'm just going wide enough, and I'm, of course doing the edges of all of them now because my brain said, hey, while you're doing that, you might as well do this one. And I still need to go through all the center areas. And like I said, with red lights, they're not overly bright. They're just there for ambience. So we're just going to touch up this one. And then we're going to touch up this one. Just going around the edge here. And adding those shadow lines. And then I'm just doing very, very lightly in the center. I'm leaving some white areas so that it still looks like a light bulb, not just a red ball with more red in it. And we'll go through and add some white to that too. This pencil is one of the ones that I get the scratchy feeling from every once in a while. I just turn the pencil and it works itself out. Like I said, it's one or two of the really dark colors, and it's not a huge ordeal. If it was, all of the colors, it would be really annoying and I'd never use them again. But you have to, I have learned that you have to kind of expect some of the deeper colors on these cheaper sets to be a little bit more scratchy than you would want them to be. Alright, now we're going to take another red. This is more of an orange red. And this one is number... yeah, I'll use this one. This is number 18. And I'm just going to give a little bit of a orange glow on the inside. Where we did that brownie red. Like that. Alright, now we're going to take our white and we're going to just blend that in a little. It's going to turn a couple of areas a little pink, which is fine. But it's going to blend that light bulb out a little bit, showing that it's not just a red ball. Alright, so we've touched on the background, like the back the back wall. We've touched on the plaster and how to do the plaster areas. We've touched on how to do the light balls and how to extend that light out a little bit with a colored light. And we've touched on how to do leaves, how to add some different colors to leaves. We've touched on a couple of different flower techniques and styles. So let's touch on the ladybugs. Ladybug, ladybug. So I'm going to take number 221 again. This 221 is going to get used a lot. This set's gonna run out of 221. It is a really nice red. It's one of the best reds in the set. It's a very true red. 222 is a nice red too, so we're going to grab that one as well. And we're going to do the shadowy areas with the 222, which is a darker red. Just concentration. And once we get this down, we don't need to put shadows for the spots. I do know that. I'm just it's there, so it must be 3D, right? Alright, so I'm just going to do the edge here. And I'm just extending it in I do use this technique quite a bit, especially with small items, because it does give a better transition from light to dark, especially when you're using colors that are really close to each other. Otherwise you end up with oh, you're not even on screen. What am I doing? Sorry guys. Let's move you up. There we go. So you end up with a better transition between the dark to light if you do a blend effect instead of a layer effect. Now you're layering your dark and your light colors with each other. Like if I'm doing this and I find that this dark color isn't dark enough, I'm going to add another layer. If I find that the light is too light, I'm going to add another layer. That sort of thing. So, if you find that one area is overtaking the other, just add a little bit of a layer to the other color. Now I'm not going into the dark area beyond the edge and allowing that lighter layer to be light. Now I'm going to take the white. The white seems to work quite nicely for giving those highlights. It's not as pigmented or as opaque as a Prisma white, but it still does give you a bit of a lighter effect, which is good. Alright, now we're going to do the other side. So we're going to use 221. And I'm just going to join it up here very lightly. Get that light red in there. And then I'm going to take the dark red again and I'm going to put in a little bit more pressure there. Just get that dark color showing in the shadow areas. I'm just going to extend it a little bit. And then we have that wing. I have a little bit of white spot showing through, which is fine. It's fine, it's fine. I'm really trying to embrace the white spot, but I have a really hard time with it. Alright, so now I'm going to add the white or the light up here, close to the head of the wonderful little bug. And then I'm going to do some light dark area here. Now I am going to go around the head of the bug because the head of the bug is black and does stand up above the body. So just going to add that there. And then I'm going to add a little bit more of the light. And we're going to take the black and I'm going to do this line here in black. Do his little head in black. As well as his little antennae. There we go. And then we're going to do his spots in black. Now all of the light spots on the spots we can replace, so I'm not worried about coloring over them right now. Okay, and there we have our little ladybug. Oop, and we gotta color his body under his shell there. There we go. And there we have one of our little ladybugs. So that's how I do ladybugs. Let's see, what else do we have to cover? Oh, windows. Let's take a look at windows. All right, let's put these back. And let's do windows. Now, do you want to do the window covering? Well, I want to do the window itself first. So I need, I think this one. No. This one, number 236. And I'm just going to go around the edges of the window. With this 236. And I'm going right over top of everything else. I don't know why it's not showing it on camera. But I'm going over the window coverings and everything else. Same with down here. Now this area here is more frosted, so I'm going to do this area a little bit thicker of a line because you can't see through the glass in this one. Well, now my camera's decided it doesn't like blue either. Well, this does have a little touch of green to it, so maybe it's just washing out the green. I don't know. This camera is very, very silly sometimes. I can set it up and get it all going and make it all lovely and hit record, and it says, yeah, no. I know what you want to do, but that's not what we're going to do today. One of these days I will get a better camera, but the camera that I want to get is very expensive. And yeah, very, very expensive. Another one of those things that I will do once I get into a studio space where I'm not in the living room and able to actually record without everything in the house being picked up sound-wise. Okay, so we've got the edges of the windows done. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do the window dressing. So we're going to do the curtains. And I think I want the curtains to be, what color do we want the curtains to be? I want them to be a peachy color. So I'm going to take an orange color, which is number 5. And I'm going to put in the dark lines. The areas that are folded. I'm going to show a little darker. Because peach is just a really light orange. So if we use a dark orange or an orange, it will show as a shadow on the peach. Alright, now let's use our peach. And because the dark, I put down the dark as a shadow, I am going right over top of it with the peach, because I do want it to dull down a little bit into that darker peach color. And I feel like I'm going to sneeze. Hopefully I don't sneeze in your ear. Okay, hopefully I caught the mic before I sneezed. Sorry about that, guys. Now I'm going to have the sniffles for the rest of the broadcast. Isn't that fun? Oh dear. Alright, so I'm just getting that peach color in there. Like I said, the peach is basically a really light orange. So putting that orange in does give it that background shadow look. Now the blue is showing because that's the window in front of the curtains. So it's going to show through. Now we've got the peach color down. Now I did the dark for the windows before I did the peach because I wanted it to be prominent. And I'm just going to fill in that area with a lighter blue just in the dark lined areas here. Sorry about the sniffles. Now in the area here where it's just window, I'm just going to go in with this lighter blue color and cover the window area. Like that. Now if you want to, you can just put a little bit of it throughout the curtain area just to show that the window is there in front of it, but you really don't have to. The visual is there with that dark blue around the edge. Same with the dark blue around the bug here. It does give the bug's shadow, showing that the bug is on the top of the glass, not under the glass. Like that. And then down here, we're just going to go a little bit heavier handed and we're going to do a full coverage of that window because it is a frosted glass. So it's not see-through, but it's still there. Alright. Just like that. Oh, now I got the sniffles. I'll move you down just a bit more. There you go. So you can see a little bit better of what I'm doing. Now I'm going to take a jelly roll gel pen, and I'm going to go in to these lines here, and I'm just going to put that reflection line. Now you can do this with the gel pens, you can do this with the Posca pen. My gel pen is not working the way I want it to. I like the Secura gel pens. It's just sometimes you have to fiddle with them a little bit. And sometimes when you're on camera, you don't want to fiddle with things. Just work the way I want you to work. One of the things that I don't like about the gel pens sometimes, the Sakura gel pens, is sometimes the white ends up picking up the color that it's going over top of, and it doesn't show true white, which is weird. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. It's very strange. So I'll put it down and then I'll let it dry and I'll go over it just to make sure that I'm getting a good coverage. I'm not liking this white gel pen, so let's use the Arteza. Yeah, that's better. That's a better coverage. I don't know why my gel pen's not covering, my Sakura gel pen's not covering very well anymore. I think it's just not as opaque as these ones maybe. When you're going over another gel pen with a gel pen, you have to be really careful that you don't scratch the other gel pen off. And we're going to do little eyes. There we go. Okay, so that's how you do a window. The reason for the gel pen, as you can see here, maybe, is it gives the effect of a reflection on the glass. All right. So we're going to do this little area up here, and this little area up here is a stained glass window. So we're going to do it in, let's see, what color should we do it? We're going to do it in yellows because it will show behind the red. So we're going to do this area here in yellow, which is going to turn that red into a bit of an orange, which is fine. Because the light coming through the window is going to be a yellow. So the light is going to contradict the other light and change it a little bit. Okay, so there's our area there. Just going to make sure I get into those areas down here. All right, now for the flower part, we're going to use, I think we'll use this red purple color for these parts. And we'll do the very, very edge in the dark purple, or the red violet, whatever color you want to call it. All right. And we're going to do the interior with the light red violet, which is number 220. And I'm going to do this very, very lightly in some areas so that it looks like there's light coming through. So for example, down here at the base where it connects together and around where the soldering is going to be darker. And then as we go up deeper, we just lighten our grip and add that light like that. So down here, and then we just lighten our grip and we let that light shine through. That one's not going to have a lot of light, neither is this one. There we go. And then we're going to take some yellow and we're going to do this part. And we'll take a bit of the darker yellow, do this part. And then we're going to take, let's take orangey red. And do this part. And then we're going to take a bit of orange and just go into those lighter areas. Like that. Alright, so we have the window done. We've got the stained glass window done. We've got the background, the plaster done, and we've got the lanterns done. And we've got a couple of flowers and a couple of leaves and a bug done. I think we've done pretty good for today. So, the things we have learned today, or the things that we have looked at and touched on today, is different ways to, of course, blend and layer different colors for leaves and for backgrounds, things like that. Different excuse me, how to do a window so that the window looks like it's in front of what is covering it. Bugs, we know, how to do the bugs. Lanterns, how to put that, make that look like it's glowing that red color. I'm going to switch you over to the main camera here so that you can have a good look at it. And of course I will continue to work on it, and we'll finish this up and make it gorgeous. Again, I want to say thank you all very much for your support, for your kind, loving words. I appreciate each and every one of you. Of course, if you want to join me over on Facebook, just hit the Facebook link below the video and come join us over on Facebook. I'd love, love to see what you're coloring. If you want to support the channel beyond hitting the like, comment, and subscribe, which are of course one of the best ways to support the channel. Another way to support the channel, of course, is to hit that join link There's a little join button below the video. That takes you to my memberships and all of the different levels of membership and the different perks. So if you want to, of course, do a financial support for the channel, you can definitely do it through there. If you, of course, hit the like button, that is the easiest and the best, one of the best ways to support the channel as well. If you're not already a subscriber to the channel and you enjoy the content of the channel, of course, please do hit the subscribe button. I do appreciate each and every one of my subscribers. And of course, I do put out a video every day except for Sundays. Sundays are for special occasions and special videos and stuff like that. And I do go live on Wednesday afternoon at 3 o'clock for a work in progress Wednesday, and on Saturday morning at 10 o'clock in the morning. These are both Pacific Standard Times, um, so that I can have a color and chat where we all get to hang out and just sit and chat about coloring the stuff and about life and about all those other wonderful things. Until then, of course, tomorrow is Work in Progress Wednesday, and we are going to be continuing with our hashtag dive into Dover, um, coloring a Dover publication that we started on Saturday. So please do stay tuned for that. I might even have a surprise. You never know. Until then, of course, remember to relax, color, and stay safe. Thank you all so much for joining me, and of course, thank you all for your support. I do appreciate each and every one of you. Until next time, bye bye for now.